I want to see myself making positive impacts in other people's lives. Hey guys, this is Feiwu and welcome to this channel called Feisworld Media, where I share how-to tips and stories for creative entrepreneurs like myself and hopefully yourself. And this video here is all about my wishes and dreams and my vision for the next decade, meaning from 2020 to 2030. What I'm about to share with you, which I think will work better, which is not simply checking things off the list, but be intentional about that theme, what you want and you're feeling, checking in with yourself mentally and physically. I think that's really important to measure your success journey. To me, success has to come with a level of fulfillment and a level of tailored plan and vision for myself. It isn't something that you would just open a, Fortune magazine and see what the generalized success means. To me, if I'm even thinking about things that way, I feel like I have failed because I know myself too well. If I wanted to climb the corporate ladder and get a fatty paycheck, I would have stayed in corporate America instead of leaving it to become a creative entrepreneur. So freedom is everything to me. All right, let's get started. Number one, I would love to be still on the same creative journey as I am right now. What it means is I want to still think of myself as a podcaster, a documentary filmmaker, a creative entrepreneur. I just love this journey I'm on, which means so much of the content I create is imaginative, it's DIY, it's not something that you just kind of pull out of a magazine and following some other crazy 7-8 figure entrepreneur success, but something that I carve out on my own and I'm willing to share with other people, and hopefully they will replicate part of that or create something new and better on their own. Number two, I want to feel energized. Whatever it is that I'm doing, I want to feel healthy, energized, and just generally very happy with my life. And the bold statement is that includes whether or not I have everything I want in my life. I mean, it sounds so trite, but I know nobody can eventually have everything they want in their lives. And there are things I aspire to become, to have, maybe skills I hope to possess one day. But here specifically, I'm also referring to maybe what we consider as the basic elements of our lives. I want to be happy whether I'm raising children or that I'm not. It isn't something I finally learned, something that you can control as a person. So, I hope that I'll still be very content with the setup of my life, whether, by myself, with my partner, with or without children. I want to be the person who not only contributes to my own life and trying to grow, but hopefully I'll have a very positive impact on other people's lives as well. Number three is I want to see myself making positive impacts in other people's lives. And I mean in many different categories. Maybe they're creative entrepreneurs, maybe they're going through difficulties, whatever it may be. I want to use my way to contribute to their lives. Very recently at a family get-together, somebody approached me who didn't really know me very well, but she knew my podcast and told me that her dad is currently going through chemotherapy and he has stage 4 cancer. And it was very heartbreaking, and she told me how important it was for her to listen to my episode with Vicki Jackson and kind of the stories and the interviews I have conducted for palliative care. And I couldn't believe that someone who isn't in close contact with me has still been able to benefit. So I just love that, and I want to do more of it. Number 4, I want to be able to travel more or travel the same amount. I know that for the past couple of years, I've had the pleasure to travel domestically, but also internationally. internationally, meaning I go to China regularly, that's where I'm from. But also, let's see, I go to Montreal to see the Circus Festival, that's not too far away from us. But I also, we're planning a trip to go to Hamburg in 2020 to meet our not only podcast, but documentary guests, the Atherton family. I would love to do more of that, but hopefully what I want to do is be able to vlog more and kind of document my journey in a way that shares our vision creatively, shares our lives as creative entrepreneurs, and with the means we encourage other people to join in to see the possibilities for themselves. I would also love to be able to meet and greet people who are listeners of our podcast, who have seen the documentary, or so ideally if I could do like a world Feisworld, a world tour, and meet up not just fans, but hopefully some super fans, some followers, and people as part of our community will be amazing. Number 5. I would love to make 1 or 2 more documentaries. I have learned so much through the making and launching of the Feisworld documentary, which is a 5-part series. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to include a link below. Please check it out and give us your feedback. I want to be able to make literally 2 more documentaries in the next 10 years, and hopefully more. Many more content on YouTube. I want at least one of those documentaries to be about my mom. She is a renowned artist from China, and she's given me this life, put me through private school, college, but most importantly, just she always believed in me and supported in what I wanted to do, whether it was to be one of the first girls to become a skateboarder in Beijing, to be playing hockey with boys, and to write a book, to start a podcast, to travel around the world. She's so supportive of all of that. And I could see her joy in seeing me living the life I want, as opposed to someone that she, has chosen for me. And she loves seeing me carve out my path. But the purpose of that, it's not just about our relationship, but it's about her creative journey, a woman so ahead of her generation in becoming an artist and raising her child. And I just think there's so much hidden gems that she can reveal for us. And by the way, she did spend 40 years working at the Forbidden City of Beijing, China. She's so well connected in the art world and these incredible skills that probably will be forever lost, unfortunately. So I want to find a way, maybe through my documentary, to pass down her skills and her stories and what she would love to share with the other younger artists. Number 6, get better mentally and physically. I mentioned this at the very beginning. It's something that I truly care about. I do check in with myself, how I'm feeling, how I'm eating, and I feel like I can constantly improve that. And I would love to experiment different things in my life. I don't want to fully commit to like a Whole30 or a keto diet, but I would love to, in the next 10 years, experiment and document that, either on YouTube or just for myself. But I want to just experiment different things. Intermittent fasting sounds really good too, and I know there are different versions of that. I'm really intrigued. I am intrigued by what our bodies are capable of. I would love to debunk the myths of what's healthy, what's nutrient, what's good for our bodies. So some experimentation would be great. Number 7, I want to be productive, but I also want to let go that feeling of I have to be productive and checking things off the list every single day. And I feel like, especially living in the US or North America, we have the tendency of trying to stay on top of everything, be productive, which is great. But sometimes that really gets in the way of enjoying our lives, ourselves, and what we have. So I feel like there's some improvement, and there's a lot of improvement I could do for me, because my guilty pleasure, honestly, is the creative product and the creative process. I love doing this. I love recording audios for my podcast. I love writing. I am addicted, absolutely addicted to all of that. If You know, if I'm a superhuman, I could see myself, I don't know, sipping coffee and just work till 3 or 4 in the morning. I think I'll absolutely love it. But because I'm a human and, you know, I'm in my 30s and I try to stay healthy, but it's really important for me to know when to pick it up and when to put it down. So to set an example for other people that I'm influencing as well. Number 8, completely out of the blue, my producer Herman and I were joking about all these subsidiaries of things that Feisworld could have. So we started with Feisworld podcast, now it's Feisworld documentary, Feisworld, I don't know, circus podcast, soon Feisworld YouTube journal. And to be honest, guys, my interests are so vast, which can be so crazy and difficult to manage sometimes, but I've always had an interest in fashion, and I don't think I'm going to really have a full fashion line, but I would love to start with Feisworld merch and have hoodies with really cool designs, possibly in English, I don't know, Spanish and Chinese as well, and to have really fun designs that are super soft, comfy for creative entrepreneurs to wear and to be proud of and to pass that story to the next generation. One of my group members, Jenny Lisk, she has 2 young kids, and she was telling me just recently how after listening to my episode on the 10 things I reflected, the 10 things I learned in the past decade, which is before this video, by the way, she was telling her kids that they too should create something on their own, and they're very powerful. So I love that. I want moms and dads and adults, and as well as their kids, to wear these statements, these really cool designs, maybe incorporate some of my mom's artworks that people can wear. So something really unique that only they have. Number 9 is more creating. In 2020, I'll begin to work on my first book, and I really hope that I will, not just hope, I know I'm going to launch it, I'm going to finish it in 2020. My first book, I have a lot of topics, but I'm going to focus on them in different orders. Pick one and start working on them. There's definitely no excuse for me not to finish that in 2020, because this book project was coming before the documentary because of budget and a bunch of other reasons. But since we finished the film already, I'm gonna just be heads down on the book. And that, by the way, isn't the only project I'm working on in 2020. It's just one of many. But in the next decade, I feel like I definitely have more than one book in me. So I would love to exercise and publish new books, hopefully every other year. I don't know. I feel like that's definitely going to be another very addicting endeavor. So that's all, guys. I would love to hear from you and see what you have planned for 2020. And please, just reading your stories excite me so much. Welcome to the new decade. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, hit the bell button. I'd love to stay in touch and share more stories with you guys. If there's anything you want me to share, dissect, and whatever that may be, let me know. So much love, and see you in 2020.